Welcome back. And in this section, we're going to go deep into the why. Deep into the why you want that outcome that we looked at. Remember, we've now got honest about where we're at. We've now got clear about the outcome that we're looking for. And now we want to really make sure that we've got a deep, meaningful why. Now, why would we do that? Well, would it be possible that we can get honest, get clear about where we want to go, but still not get there? To fall off the wagon. When things get a little bit tough or it doesn't quite work out, that maybe we just kind of retreat back and maybe don't do it. I mean, hey, have you ever done that at all in your life with anything else? I know I have, when we're honest about it. But why is that? Well, it's because we really haven't tapped into that deep, meaningful why. So when things do get a little tough, when things do go a little different, then we kind of like, oh, is it worth it? It's not even the big stuff that's holding us back that we're going to tackle shortly. It's not even that. It's just in our head. We just haven't got a deep enough why. So this is why this is really important. And I mean, there's some great examples of this in practice. And certainly share them because it will show you how you will be more persistent, you will be more resilient. You will go and make it happen when your why is deep enough. There's a guy called Mel Fisher, and he's like a modern day Indiana Jones. And he was obsessed with shipwrecks. And he knew that there was this galleon that had gone down, a Spanish galleon from the 1600s. He knew that it had sunk. There had been a big storm, and he knew it had loads of treasure on it. And when I say loads of treasure, he knew that it was loaded with all the gold, coins, jewelry, and all manner of things. He knew it would be worth it. When the galleon's gone down, the history books tell us that some of it was recovered, but a lot of it wasn't. And so this was his belief, and he was just like the ultimate treasure hunter. So he wanted to go and find it. He wanted to be that person that got the biggest haul ever. And it wasn't because he wanted the money for himself. It was just that sense of adventure. And it had great meaning to him to find something that had never been discovered before. And many, many people had tried and failed. They just couldn't find it. But he believed so strongly that it was out there. So his focus, he knew exactly what he was looking for, and he knew the outcome he was looking for. That outcome of when I find that treasure, when I find that shipwreck, imagine the excitement. Imagine what that's going to be like. Imagine what they're going to find. All this stuff that has never been unearthed for hundreds and hundreds of years. This was driving him. And so he went on the expedition, and he needed investors, he needed finance to do this, and he had his family involved, and he had lots of people, a crew. After the first year of trying, so not just a few weeks, and he dibbled and dabbled and said, oh, this is where it is. After the first year, he lost his wife and his son. Storms happened, and they passed away. He lost his own family and another crew member. Now, what have you got to believe to be true? Why are you justifying that makes that worthwhile? And of course, when that happens, you don't want to do it in vain. But what's got to be true for you to carry on another year? And of course, every year he had to get new finance. So he had to go and persuade other people to keep giving him money. People are dying on this expedition. But he's like, the vision, the outcome, the way he could explain it, his passionate purpose, his deep meaningful why he wanted to do this, to uncover this for the world to see. He knew it was there. He had to believe he knew it was there. And he had to make it a must. This was an absolute must. This wasn't if it works out, then we'll find it. He made it an absolute must. And he had to believe that it would be worth it. And this is what we want for you. We want you to get so clear and passionate about what it is that you want to change, improve, and achieve. That, yeah, you know it's out there to be had. And now we want to make sure that your why is so deep that it is a non-negotiable must, like Mel Fisher. And you've got to know that it's worth it, because that's why we did the outcome. That's why you painted that picture. You know it's going to be worth it. 2 years went by for Mel. 3 years, 5 years went by. Imagine trying to search for this sunken wreck for 5 years and not giving up. That belief, that purpose, that must that drove him 10 years, 15 years. On the 16th year, he found it. Him and his crew found it. And they didn't just find it. They found the biggest trove of treasure ever discovered. $500 million worth of treasure that just hadn't seen the light of day for hundreds of years. These were historic artifacts. It took 16 years to find it. So again, what have you got to believe? How powerful is your why to keep going after 16 years, to have lost people close to you, to have to keep going back to the investors and ask them for more money, and then try somebody else for more money, knowing it was worth it. He got the reward. He knew it was there. He made it a must, and he knew it would be worth it. This is what we want for you. This is what we're going to do in going, using one of my favorite frameworks, 7 levels deep, to uncover that deep, meaningful, non-negotiable must. I'll give you one other example. In our family, we are huge Disney fans. Huge Disney fans. When Walt Disney was looking for the finance to build Disneyland, the very first park, he wanted to take all that he had done in the cartoons and the movies. He wanted to bring it to life and for people to experience the happiest place on earth. He had to get finance. He didn't have the finance for it. 301 banks he went to. I mean, can you imagine? Right after the second bank, the 5th bank, the 10th bank, how many people would have given up? But what did Walt have to believe? What outcome was he looking for? What was his deep, meaningful why? What was that passion that he felt that said, it doesn't matter how many no's I'm going to get, I'm going to keep going until this dream comes true. I know it's out there. This is a must, and I know it's going to be worth it. That 301 bank said yes. And ironically, they then went on to have an amazing partnership over the years that helped him finance all manner of things. But he had to do it 300 times before then that last one said yes. Most people give up way too soon. Why? They haven't really got clear on where they want to go. They're not clear on the outcome, and they sure as heck haven't gone deep into why this is a must. Because if it's a must for you, you'll find a way. Things happen. Things are slower than you want. Something knocks you off course. But you're always then reminded of the why were you doing it in the first place. This is something I do with my one-on-one coaches. When I'm coaching somebody, when we first start, we get very clear on what they're looking for and why. And the amount of times I have to bring them back to the why. They have a wobble, things happen. That's life. Life's a roller coaster. Ronan was right. But that why is what keeps them going. And then they go on to achieve things they didn't even think was possible. Mel knew it was possible though. He kept going. Walt knew it was possible. We want to instill that kind of belief in you. That's confidence. That's extreme confidence. So let's use 7 levels deep. And what is this? It's a very simple framework. It doesn't mean it's easy. You're going to have to dig deep. You're going to have to really think about this. This isn't something I'm just going to quickly scribble something down. So you are going to want to be pausing this. You are going to want to then take the time to do the exercise. But the exercise is simple. I want you to first ask yourself, with all that clarity you have of the outcome that you're looking for now, and whatever area of life that you wanted to improve, change, or achieve in, I just want you to ask, why is it important that you achieve that? Why is it a must? And write that first thing that comes to your head. And then, I want you to ask it again. And look at it, and look at that last answer you gave. Why is that important? Why is that a must? And you do that again. And then you look at that answer, and I want you to ask it again. I want you to say, why is that important? And I want you to do this 7 times. This isn't three levels deep. You get to a good answer, you go, oh, that's quite a good answer. Or you get to 6 levels deep and you go, oh wow, that's pretty deep. 7 times. Now why 7 times? Because it gets you out of here. It gets you out of your head and into your heart. This deep, meaningful must, this why, it has to come from here. You have to feel it. And if you've done it right, if you've been honest and you've gone that depth, you will feel it. You will get emotional. And you may uncover things that you never thought you would say or write down, or some things that you haven't thought of for a very long time. Good. You've done it right. Because you will uncover the deep emotional reason why. Let me bring it to life. Again, let's just use that fitness example. So why do you want to be able to run around the garden and have those adventures with the kids, knowing that you're not going to pull a hammy, put your back out, and your lungs are going to burst? Like, why do you want that? I want that because whenever I do that, my lungs feel like they're going to burst and it feels like I'm going to pull a hammy or pull my back out. Like, okay, cool. So you don't want that. That's okay, right? So, but why is that important to you? Well, because I feel bad because I actually decline playing with my children because I know I can't physically do it. So, I watch them, but I'd like to play with them, but I just really watch them, and that gives me pleasure, but I really like to get in there. Okay, right. Well, why is it that important? Because I want to be actively involved. I want to be an active father in their life, or a mother in their life, or I want to be a role model. I want to feel that sense of joy. Oh, wow. Okay, we're starting to get from here to here, right? What are we on now? What, 3? How far have you got to go before it suddenly gets to, and this is not my father, right? But some people I've done this with, they've got to that point where really the truth is, my father worked all the time. He worked harder and longer, like I described earlier, and didn't spend time with me. Didn't have the time to spend with me. Didn't have the energy to spend with me. And my memories, my childhood memories are of him not being around. And there's no fault of his, but he was always tired. He was always haggard. He never had the energy. He loved us to bits. Caveat, not my dad. But for examples from what I've done with other people. And they dig that deep and go, I want to be there for my kids because my dad wasn't for me. I got goosebumps. And that's not even my dad. And that's not even my story. But I tell you, I was in the room when that happened. And yet there were tears. That was a moment. Now, when you've got that level of feeling, are you more likely to go and make that thing happen or not? You're going to make it happen, right? And yeah, it'll still be a bumpy road. And yeah, okay, at times you might need somebody to remind you of that deep, powerful why. But it'll be there, and you'll carry on until you reach the outcome. That's the depth that we're looking to get to. Through this simple, but can be challenging, so give yourself the time and the space. Don't rush through it. Ask yourself those questions and feel it move from here, because your first few answers are usually quite logical. But get into here, level 6 and then level 7. There's your deep, meaningful why, and it's powerful. And I want you to write that down. Make sure you've captured that. So you can pause the video now, pause me, and do that exercise. Use the resource that you've got. Ask yourself those questions. Go deep. Trust me, it's worth it. I've done it, and you get the feels, and nothing stops you. That's where we want to get to now, because then you've got the honesty, you've got the clarity, and then you've got the passion. And you also then got, once you've done the exercise, you can then do your statement. Add the next bit to the statement. So remember, it was by whatever date you've chosen, I will achieve, improve, change this thing because. And then you get to put that deep, meaningful answer in. Your deep, meaningful must, your why. That thing that you know it's there, you know you must do it, and it's going to be worth it. You think got a very, very powerful statement to moving forward. Do you think all those people that make New Year's resolutions that falter after 2 weeks, do you think they've got this depth, this clarity, this focus, this depth of passion? They haven't. That's why they fall over after 2 weeks. Not you. You've got the secret sauce. That's what we want to call it. This is how we make change happen. This is how we make improvement happen. This is how we achieve things that we haven't done before. And no matter what happens, we'll find a way. Go and tap into your deep, meaningful why. You can pause me here, because I've got one other thing to ask of you. So go and do those, make sure you've done those, and then come back. I'm going to assume that you've done it. You've gone those 7 levels deep, however long that's taken you, you've afforded yourself that time. Brilliant, well done. You filled out that statement. Wow, what a powerful statement that is. I'd love for you to share it. Share that statement with me. I bet it's powerful. I bet it's got a clarity and a focus and a passion that it just hasn't had before. You already think, oh, I'm going to do this. Brilliant. I want to ask you one more thing. So with all of that now, what people often say, they go, well, what is it I want? Why is it that I want it? And then they jump to, so how am I going to do it? We all get excited because we want the how, we want to do it. Before the how, I call them the 3 W's. We've got the what, we've got the why, and I want you to look at who. Who could help you achieve that? That thing you want to improve, change, achieve, that deep, meaningful why that you've got associated with it. Who could help you achieve that? Who's already done it? Who's already been there? Who's got the lived experience of it? Who knows what works and what doesn't work? Who is it that can help you on that way? Who is it that you could share your deep, meaningful why and those outcomes, and then they can help you stay on track? Who is that for you? This is it's like I say, a secret weapon. It really is the powerful thing that if you've seen people live extraordinary lives, do extraordinary things, they've always had somebody there, a mentor or a coach, somebody in their corner that they've shared it with, that have already achieved it, that knows the how and can keep them on track. So I want that for you. So with this thing that you're going to now go for it, who is it that could help you? Because they're going to help you not only achieve it, but stay on track as well and remind you of that deep, meaningful why. It's such a powerful thing. It's what I do. I've got people around me that help me in all different various areas of life. Go and find that who. Jot them down. Because that's going to be your next action step to actually making it happen. Do that, and then join me for the next section, where we will look at what could possibly hold you back or get in your way, even with all of that. We've got a dragon to slay, and it's going to be a lot of fun. See you in the next section.